Namaste everyone. Welcome to the class of Apache Airflow. Myself Chindan Bhatt, a software engineer, consultant, and coach. What is Apache Airflow? Two words, Apache. Apache is an organization name, Apache Software Foundation, which manages so many open source softwares like Airflow. Airflow. What is Airflow? Airflow is a platform to create, schedule, and monitor workflows. To better understand the Airflow, let's try to understand the use of it. There are so many libraries, tools, and frameworks available. Each tool has their own specific use. So when to use Airflow? Let's take a use case. You being an engineer assign a task of generating a credit card statement notification. You can read the credit card customer data from API database or flat file and send notification, SMS, email, right? So how do you solve it? So you will say, being an engineer, I will write a script. I will read the data by calling APIs, reading the files or database directly, and send the SMS or emails. See, these are the bank customer data. Your customer has 50 lakhs of customer records. Okay. And your manager say, during banking hours, I will not allow to use my bank servers. Okay. So let's say 10 p.m. you want to do this thing. Oh, there is now scheduling is required. So you can also do some solution of your scheduling your script, running your script at particular time. Okay, that you solve these two problems. But how will you monitor? Do the logging? Do you see the logs of all these things? There are 50 lakhs customer data. And being an engineer, you're not handling this only script. There are multiple things. Okay. How will you handle the failure? You are using API, database, or files. You are using the network to send an email. You are using any other API to send SMSs. Any component will have the issue. On failure, how will you resume the task? Do you go to the logs and see where the error is? Do you maintain the logging entries in the database and start from there? How will you manage? With this amount of big data and multiple things or multiple workflows, Airflow solves our problem, right? That is the use of Airflow. To manage multiple things, we need to write a workflow in Airflow. So what is a workflow basically? Workflow is a set of process or tasks to be completed to achieve the result, right? It will also called or referred as a data pipelines. And traditionally, data pipeline used to do extract, transform, and load. Extract the data, transform in different forms, and load or send something. So this overall process with the pipeline. So we refer a workflow or data pipeline as the same in Airflow. We knew that Airflow is a platform to create, schedule, and monitor workflows or pipelines. Here, pipeline is a graph. In graph theory, this box used to or referred as a node, and this line with direction is called edge. This is specifically directed edge because it shows the direction. It is called directed edge. Okay. In terms of airflow, because this box has a task or task node, and this line or this edge is a directed edge that represent dependency, task dependency. Okay. So process data starts only after getting the data. Process data depends on get data. Send notification task depends on process data. So here, DAG, directed acyclic graph. So here the task 1, task 2, and task 3. Here this graph shows directed acyclic. Okay, this is not, there is no cycle anywhere. There is no cycle anywhere. Directed acyclic. Here there is cycle. This is cyclic graph, circular dependency going on. Okay. Task 1, task 2, and task 3. Task 2 will only start for task 1. Task 3 only start for task 2, or it will start only after completing task 2 is completed. Here, when will task 2 will start? After completing task 1, oh, there is a edge as well. There is another directed after task 3. So task 2 will start only after task 1 gets completed and task 3 gets completed. How task 3 will get completed here? Here, so this indicates circular dependency. For Apache Airflow, we will write our solution as a DAG, as a directed acyclic graph. So all our tasks or all our workflow will have a directed acyclic graph. So Airflow program is called DAG. DAG is a simply Python file with the extension. It will have all the source code of our task 1, task 2, and task 3. We will also mention the dependency. Now it's time to do a practice. Let me introduce you to the UI of Airflow. You can see the landing page or home page of Apache Airflow. You can see two DAGs are two DAGs are there, one DAG is active, and you can see this. It has run 9 times successfully. It shows run how many times it ran. So there's this DAG has run 9 times successfully, and 1 time it failed. It's scheduled daily. When we say daily, meaning at midnight, scheduled for midnight. So this is the last run, next run, the recent task, that 4 tasks is there. Manually trigger or start this DAG. So let me just do it here. I'm just manually triggering this DAG here. So it will say starting now. You can see this is running and failed. The 3 of 1 task is run and 3 is remaining. So it's fifth attempt. So let's just say it's running right now. Let me refresh. It's still running. So let me just click on this. Let's go to the button Click here, the DAG. I'm clicking here. So you will see this tree view of it. You will see here the DAGs that read the data, process the data, send email, and send SMS. So at one particular point in time, there is a failure of this DAG. Okay, which part is failed? The send SMS part is failed at one particular date. It will show you the status like this. On the tree view, you will also see the queued running. It indicates different color. So you can see in which stage your tasks are in. You can also auto refresh it here. It will just take into auto refresh. We can also manually trigger from here. So let's trigger DAG. So I just triggered it here. See, it's triggered queued. So see the status queued. Okay, running. This is completed. So it's loading auto refresh. It's queued, right? So this is how it will go. We can also see the graph. So let's just go to the graph here. So you can see the task and dependency, right? So all indicates a green border. You can see the manual run. If this is the manual run, all indicates green border. That means success. So all tasks were success. Okay. This how you will also see the status of all your tasks. There is a calendar menu as well. So you can see how many days your DAG or your workflow is executed successfully. Okay, these 2 times successfully, those 2 times there is some error. I'm just clicking here. So the 2 times success, 1 time failed. So at this one particular point, there was a failure. So you can click in here. So this has a failure. So you can see this. Okay, you can also see the task duration of particular operation. So you can see the graph over here that this task is taking the time. That process data graph, send data, and send SMS graph. Gantt chart of it. Let's say what is the last one that this particular process the data is taking this amount of time. This is time. There is a failure here over here at this operation. And if you can see what is my last run, scheduled run. Okay, so I'm just updating here. So it has a success. At the time the read SMS took much time. So this is how you can see how much time it took. This is the details on details page. You can see how many time it ran successfully and how much time it failed. So this is an overview of our DAG screen home page, where you can see this is ran successfully 11 times. The credit card and credit card statement DAG is there. We can make this DAG active inactive. So let me show you how it will start automatically. Let's say, okay, say this next one is this date, okay, and it's ran 11 times and 1 time failed. Let me just try to do a setting. Let me run it on. Change the date. It's a 6th. Let me just take the 6th date, modify it. And we will see the 11 and 1 times. It will auto start this workflow or DAG. So you can see that now this workflow is successfully executed 12 times. So recently it ran on this date. You can see that we have changed and it ran successfully. Here in Visual Studio Code, we have written a code for our DAGs. So this is read the data, process the data, send email, and send SMS. Okay. It's just simple basic code we'll understand in our next session.